News when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Nathan Hager.
And I'm Karen Moskow.
Karen, we begin with the latest from the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland. President Trump's push to take control of Greenland is already the talk of the annual gathering of global elites. The president says he's agreed to a meeting on the issue after speaking with NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte.
So we'll be talking about it with the various people. We've had tremendous success, and I've done more for NATO than anybody else.
The president spoke there to reporters in Miami. Later, he posted a screenshot on social media of a text message he says he received from the NATO Secretary General saying that he was committed to finding a way forward on Greenland. Earlier, President Trump linked his claims to the Danish territory to not receiving the Nobel Peace Prize in a letter to Norway's prime minister. The Norwegian government does not decide the Nobel winner.
Well, Nathan, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent is urging European allies to remain calm over President Trump's Greenland claims. He spoke this morning from the sidelines of the World Economic Forum.
Sit back, take a deep breath, and let things play out. As I said on April 2nd, the worst thing countries can do is escalate against the United States.
And Secretary Bessent is comparing the uproar to the political blowback over President Trump's tariff announcements last April. French President Emmanuel Macron has talked about unleashing the European Union's toughest trade tools in response to the Greenland threats, though German Chancellor Friedrich Merz has batted that down. Secretary Bessent also says the idea of Europe selling U.S. treasuries in response to the president's Greenland claims is a false narrative.
And along with the Greenland issue, Karen, President Trump is also bringing his affordability agenda to Davos. He has pitched his populist economic platform in battleground states in recent weeks. Now he's targeting a different audience, the global elites gathered in the Swiss ski village. President Trump has vowed to unveil details of a sprawling affordability pitch. It's landed Wall Street banks, tech companies, and home builders in his crosshairs. The president speaks about it tomorrow at the World Economic Forum.
Nathan, the Trump Davos speech comes as a new study shows his tariffs are paid almost entirely by Americans. We get more from Bloomberg's John Tucker. John, good morning.
And Karen, the study finds that only 4% of the tariff burden is actually shouldered by foreign firms, with a near-complete pass-through of 96% to U.S. buyers that pay the levies and then must either absorb them or raise selling prices. The Kiel Institute for the World Economy says the $200 billion surge in customs revenue represents $200 billion extracted from American businesses and households. That the tariff function not as a tax on foreign producers, but as a consumption tax on Americans. Now, based on shipment data covering 25 million transactions worth about $4 trillion, the Kiel study runs completely counter to the Trump administration's argument that the trading partners pay the tariffs. In New York, I'm John Tucker, Bloomberg Radio.
Thanks, John. And that's news when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Karen Moskow.
I'm Nathan Hager, and this is Bloomberg.